So this is my 24-week system. I've got more on another shelf over here, but I'm going to give you a little look at it. So here is the card for week 1. It has the history sentence at the top. Tell me about Christopher Columbus. And then at the back, I've got cards for Christopher Columbus, and then it's got the definition there. Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain, Ferdinand Magellan, and I've got some other explorers in here, and pretty much anything that I deem to be particularly similar or relevant or something I want to reference during this week. And then in the actual week, and we've actually got a couple books from this set pulled out, we've got the books that we want to cover for that week, for week 1 of Classical Conversations. So we've got who was Christopher Columbus, who was Ferdinand Magellan, who was Blackbeard, Christopher Columbus Discovering America, the Incredible Explorers collection. Now, I got this set from library and educational services.com. They have great specials and they run things at incredible discounts, so I highly recommend them. I've got Ferdinand Magellan, John Cabot. We also in this week have, but I think it's pulled out at the moment because we're reading it, Samuel de Champlain. Oh, and there's, I think, Amerigo Vespucci. So some of these could be used in cycle 2 as well, but we pulled them in here because I wanted to talk about explorers this week. And then we have the Usborne Book of Explorers from Columbus to Armstrong as kind of a general reference. So these were the 2 books that were pulled out of week 1's box, Hernan Cortez and Henry Hudson. So the next week that we have is week 2, Tell Me About the Pilgrims. And I've got different things in here: the African slave trade, Columbian exchange, the French and Indian 7 Years' War. So some of these are not going to seem incredibly relevant, but there are other things that are going on vaguely around the same time period that I want to make sure that we cover. So that's week 2, and in that week, we're reading What Were the Salem Witch Trials? What Was the First Thanksgiving? Black Hawk, and this is from the Good and the Beautiful Library. The Mooring Tree, and that's from the Good and the Beautiful Library. Ancient Indians of the Southwest. Yes, we just did randomly throw that in there because we want to get some Native American studies in there. And What's in the Northeast, because at this point in Classical Conversations, we will have covered all of these states, so we need to go look at them more in depth. I also, in this week, have an audiobook. And you can tell it's still in the cellophane, have not broken into this yet. I have Rush Revere and the Brave Pilgrims. I have never listened to one of the Rush Revere books before. I got it kind of on a whim. I do not know if we will like them or not, so I'll let you know how that goes. These are 2 books that were pulled out of week 2's box. Who Were the First North Americans, and a National Geographic on Jamestown. All right, so for week 3, we have the history sentence, and then we have our cards. So the British East India Company, the Dutch East India Company, the Tea Act. Got several different things in here, a lot of the different intolerable acts. And then we've got another audio book. So that week is Rush Revere and the First Patriots. So that one seemed incredibly relevant. I'm also putting in Show Me History's Ben Franklin. Magic Tree House, Ben Franklin. Who Was Paul Revere? Who Was Betsy Ross? It's hard to get these out. What was the Boston Tea Party? Who was Ben Franklin? So we're going to get a lot of Ben Franklin in that week. And Roots of the Revolution from the Forged in Freedom, The Making of America book series.